Nah. Nah.
Does your asshole itch?
No. Okay.
Welcome to the I Regret Nothing podcast.
I Regret Nothing podcast.
Sweet.
With Mike J and Pedro.
Hey guys, what about me?
I regret nothing.
I regret nothing.
Hey, dickheads, you forgot about me, Matt Baguette.
We regret nothing.
I regret everything. Everything I've ever done.
We back. Mike.
We're back.
Mike, Pedro, Matt, and Carl, the kid in the helmet.
We're so back.
Carl. Yeah, it's been 1 month or something, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know.
I think a couple weeks.
I think we're getting better at
couple
this.
weeks.
Wasn't that long.
I think we're getting better at doing this more often. We'll be at 100 in no time. Even though I've been doing this since like 2016. It's not very good. Pedro, we've been slacking.
We have been slacking. I mean, to be fair, we did have another episode this month, so we're not slacking that much as like we did before.
Whoa. That's pretty
Twice
good.
in a month, okay, guys? You're getting a lot of content here.
So much content.
So much content. Holy
My
shit.
God. I just wanted to say that, we released the big patch for Postal 4, and I think most people have enjoyed it. Would you agree,
I
Pedro?
hated
I
it.
have to agree.
Pedro's in
Yeah.
the trenches.
I'm in the
So-
trenches, and most people have been saying that they really enjoyed the new content that we added, and we are very happy to hear that, and we are very happy to hear more of your feedback after we release the patch to you guys. So thank you so much for giving us all that feedback and the feedback that led to the hotfix that we released 2 days later. It's been great.
We have
and
another patch
we're-
coming soon, right?
Yeah, very soon.
Okay.
And we won't make you wait as many months as we did.
And what's going to be in this one?
Yeah, because this was a great patch. This was a huge patch. Okay, so we
But what's going to be
found a
in
lot
this
of
next
problems.
one? Answer the question, Pedro.
Sorry.
What's going to be in this next patch?
Hmm.
Oh, you don't
That's
know off
a-
the top of your
no,
head. The guy
besides
that
fixes,
tests the
you
build
know.
every day.
I test the build every day.
Come
but,
on, Carl's sitting there right above you.
The problem is I'm not sure if I can say it still. Can I say it?
What?
I mean, it's not a huge deal, but
I mean,
I'm not
we can
sure.
say what's coming up, but
Nothing.
it's not,
Nothing that we're making is top secret, Pedro.
well, it's not set
Okay.
in stone neither for the next update. I think that's what Pedro is saying.
I
We're
don't
going
care.
to do
It's coming.
a small graphics overhaul. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do brand new explosion effects, new particles, made by yours truly, Carl. Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
been substantially overhauling the particle effects for Postal 4, bullet impact effects, explosions. So you expect those in the next patch. They look pretty dope. I worked very hard on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
And-
Looking
one of the
good.
next patches.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah.
What
The
else?
shadows look beautiful right now. The shadows look beautiful.
Much better,
We
yeah.
have new lighting. We are not ready to show you yet any of these things, but as soon as we get to show you, you will see exactly what we mean when we say they look great. Okay. Can I talk about the
I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's pretty much there.
turrets? We're gonna have
So what
turrets.
about it? For what?
We're gonna have turrets that you can interact with and shoot NPCs with. That's gonna be fun.
For like
Uh,
rampages.
in a way,
and
we're adding a
missions.
new weapon, which is the turrets. So
There you go.
there you go.
And also, Carl did some work on the vegetation shader, and it looks much
Yeah.
better now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I-
Yeah, the game as a whole looks so much better, and as soon as we can, we are going to give you a before and after, just like we did before, with the map improvements. We are going to give you before and after with these lighting changes, with the vegetation, with the shadows. And we are not done with the map improvements as a whole. Okay, so those are still coming. There are still some things that we did not include in the previous patch, and there are new things that we haven't even announced yet. So look forward to those.
Most of all, it's gonna be a lot of fixes on what's broken currently in the game, but a lot of things are coming, and we have the new trader at Realms Deep coming in 2 days, I think. Is that right, Mike?
Realms Deep is on Saturday, yeah. So
Okay.
the co-op trailer for Postal 4 will be launching on Saturday. That does not mean co-op is launching on Saturday, but it is coming. And just so everybody knows, and we've said this before, and it's unfortunate, but everything we talk about is PC. Okay? Everything we make that's coming in a patch soon is PC. If you're a PlayStation Postal fan, you're just going to have to wait for things. That's just the way it is. We're not a console developer. We are not a porting house. And we don't have a ton of money. So every single time we need to patch PlayStation, we have to be super selective about what goes into it. And then there is a bunch of time porting it and then getting it to go through certs and then releasing it. So we do have the console porting team on the case right now for what they're going to be putting out for PlayStation soon, but it is definitely not going to include everything that was in the last patch. And,
it's a lot of work and it's a lot of investment.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
And we are trusting this team, which despite the fact that they do a great job, which they do, they've proven to do a great job on both the PC and PlayStation versions. They are still a separate team, so it's not like we can just easily talk to each other and just patch the game outright. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, not even close. And I'm not
close.
going to give you a figure as to what it costs to get a PlayStation patch done because it's vastly different depending on what it is, but it's expensive. Very, very expensive. And, we just can't. PlayStation games don't get patched all the time. They just don't. It's not that simple, and it's a pain in the ass. So it's coming. There will be something. And also, as far as co-op goes, we're not even promising it on PlayStation. We have no idea what that kind of porting job will be. So don't assume that's coming.
Yeah, we are already outright saying, do not expect crossplay.
No.
At all.
No.
At all.
If,
Do not
if
expect
PlayStation
crossplay.
even happens with co-op, it would probably only be PS5, and it would not be crossplay with PC. So just forget that. If you have a PS4, sorry, you should upgrade. That system's a piece of shit.
But if you do have a PS4 version and you want to upgrade, it's free. You can upgrade to your PS5 version. And that's the best we can do.
And here's our
really.
little segue into some of the new merch we have. Just wanted to go over that stuff before we dive into the news. We have physical PlayStation 4 and 5 packages here now. They are limited. We don't have that many, and I'm not sure that we can get more because Limited Run only pressed a certain amount. We put in an order. They're selling pretty well. They'll probably be gone here in the next couple weeks. So make sure you get them. They're signed by me and Vince. We did remove the shrink wrap because we wanted to sign the actual case. But as you can see, there's a nice disc inside. And PlayStation 4 and 5 copies are in. Also, I just cut myself on this, but the new Postal 4 PC physical is also in. It's a nice
I need that.
O-card,
Holy
embossed
shit.
O-card sleeve, and a nice little DVD case with a couple discs
so
inside.
fucking
I've
beautiful.
seen a lot of people questioning what's on disc 2. Well, just so everybody knows, this is not a Blu-ray. This is a DVD 9. So unless your game is under 9 gigs, it can't fit on one disc. So the 2 discs are just the installer for Steam, which also has annoyed a few people because they think we should be like using this for preservation. And it's like, no, we give you a GOG key with this. That purchase comes with a Steam key and a GOG key. If you want it on GOG, you can download it there. Otherwise, getting it on Steam. I'm not sitting around too worried that Steam's going to go out of business. But you know, I guess it's possible. The one other thing I'll show you are these stickers that I got in, which is obviously a hint to the fact that at some point in the near future, we will be making a new fudge back. I got stickers just to include inside of that package. So yeah, it's new artwork made by us. So if you've been trying to buy a fudge pack and you can't see it in stock, there's a reason. We've been out of stock for a while. We are now out of 20ths as well. So the only physical packages we have are Postal 4, Postal Brain Damaged, and then Postal 4 for PlayStation. Currently, that will change in a little bit. In doll news, we have Mad Cow, Mike J, dolls. These are probably our coolest doll yet. They are.
It's really cool.
They're the first, like, other than Crotchy and I guess Cunny, this is like a real doll, you know? The dude, while it's the best seller because it's our classic character, it's just like this little person. And it's funny, but, you know, this is a fucking doll. And if you want to hear it, it's a little hard to understand. We're going to have to tweak this on the next version of this, but. Not sure you guys can hear that.
Nope.
No, it's not picking up.
Barely.
Yeah.
But you guys get the idea.
You get the idea. It is my voice doing the old Mad Cow voice. So make sure you get these. They're on all this stuff. Well, yeah, all this stuff is on our site, postalgames.com. Oh, yeah, one more little thing that we got in today. They're little Running with Scissors logo pins. They're gold.
Look at that.
Didn't ask for them to be gold, asked for them to be yellow. They did not get painted. So instead, these are for formal wear.
Sweet.
Yeah, so if you're going to like run for president or Congress, and instead of wearing like a little flag pin on your lapel, you can wear a Running with Scissors pin on your lapel. It's gold. They are on sale on the store right now. The art is incorrect on the store. Sorry about that. It's gold, not yellow. And then I wanted to show you some fan art. I don't currently have a link to this girl's Etsy page, but I know she's going to be selling these things. And I think I showed it on the last podcast, but this one, she sent me a new one. She's 3D printing the health pipes from Postal 2. She sent it to me in this little box, which is pretty well done. Her name on Discord is Candle, so if you see someone named Candle in Discord, you can order these from her. I think they're pretty cool. Not something we're going to be selling, but we'll let her go for it. And then she also sent me, oh man, I think I just broke the arm. This little guy right here.
You better not. You better not.
I broke the arm. I did. It happened. I went to pick it up, picked it up by the arm. But this is the brain damaged crotchy doll. See, it's all pixelated. So sorry about that, guys.
You broke my balls.
I'm just not going to touch that anymore. That was a big mistake. Those are very, 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 very thin arms.
Remind me not to let you touch my balls.
I hope your balls aren't that thin. Yeah, I guess our first topic was going to be that Realms Deep is on Saturday. But if you didn't hear us earlier, make sure you are subscribed to the Realms Deep YouTube or 3D Realms YouTube, and you can watch that event live. We'll be showing a co-op trailer. And also, if you don't remember, I was in Denmark shooting scenes for Realms Deep. So you get to see me in a suit. I'm wearing all kinds of fancy shit. Should have had a Running with Scissors lapel pin, but I didn't have them then. But yeah, if you want to see me and Ty go at it again and have a little fun on the air, make sure you tune into Realms Deep on Saturday. I don't know what time it starts, but make sure you subscribe to their Twitters and their YouTubes, and then you'll find out what time to watch it. If you're into boomer shooters, that's the show for it. So make sure you do that, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll
On
try
to
my
the
best.
news. Cyberpunk released a
It's finally good.
major
Whoa.
update, 2.0 update, and the full DLC, Phantom Liberty, came out this week and last week. I played both. And
Me
while
too.
I did play Cyberpunk originally and finished it, it had its problems. It's definitely a lot more fun now.
Oh yeah. It went from a 5 to a 9 for me with Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun. It's still not perfect, but if it came out like this 3 years ago,
Yeah.
oh man, it would have been
The first
really
2
good.
hours of Phantom Liberty was cool, but it kind of bugged me. It was a fucking
very
rail
scripted.
shooter. Yeah, it was a rail shooter.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
with timed button presses, which
Right.
you know.
It is very impressive what they did. But once you get out of kind of like that opening section and you're free to do whatever you want, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
I'm replaying the game from the beginning and all the changes they made in the 2.0 version. It's good.
I restarted, and I got to the point where you get Johnny, and then I stopped and just started playing Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the process of restarting from the very beginning.
That's
So
what I
it's
did,
been
yeah.
slow because I don't have much time, but when I do, it's blown away what they've done with the core game. The 2.0 update really did a lot, especially the police is still not better than Postal 2.
Yeah.
But it's much better than it was at
It's
launch,
much better
like,
now, yeah.
I
And so much
actually,
better.
I actually enjoy that it's not like Grand Theft Auto, that I can kind of drive around and hit anybody I want.
Yeah.
And the police
Yeah.
don't chase me right away.
I think that's the problem. Like back then, a lot of people didn't like it because Rockstar games they set the bar so high, and other games, even AAA games, they seem like kind of like meh, or they don't really have that much detail in it. But it's kind of fine. If the game is fun, it's fun. Yeah, it's not GTA. It's its own thing. But yeah, it's really fun.
And
so
plus,
I recommend
I
it. And
really do like Idris Elba. So
oh yeah, I think he's better than Johnny Silverhand.
he is.
Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about like a very good actor and a very bad actor. So like,
Yeah.
it's not
But
real
when it comes
competition.
to the characters, I think his character is more interesting. What he has to
Yes.
do in it.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and the story in Phantom Liberty is better than the base game. I think it's there's more
Plus
things
being
about
in
it.
Dogtown's pretty cool the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the
just
best
all
looking
feels like Mad
area.
Max. Like it's very cool.
I'm playing with the path tracing on max settings. It's really good looking. It's pretty crazy what they did. Yeah.
The DLSS and the the path tracing.
The ray reconstruction. So on the 3.5, it's so good. Yeah.
I've got a 4090, so it chews those frames like nothing.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's the third game now using path tracing ever. There's Minecraft, Portal RTX, Minecraft RTX, and now Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Well, I'm playing on PlayStation 5, so
Oh shit.
I guess
I
my
mean,
game
it's-
just looks like it's it.
well,
Could be worse. Could be the PS4 version.
no, even the thing
Wouldn't
is that
get
the game
Phantom
looks great.
Liberty.
The game looks great even without the ray tracing and the path tracing. So
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because they're still using when you turn it off, they're still using a software-based, like very approximated global
Yeah.
illumination system. So it's gonna look good regardless.
And you know what this means? Like they have now a solid foundation for a sequel. They already said that they're not going to do much more in terms of content. So from this point
Yeah.
forward, just bug fixing and move on to the next thing.
In Unreal,
Yep.
in Unreal 5,
in Unreal 5, yeah.
because they have moved on.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, Cyberpunk. If you didn't play it when it launched, it's time. It is time. And I tried Starfield. That game's not for me.
Yeah, me neither. I really don't.
No, I played for
heard
about an
so
hour.
many
I played for an hour. That
Bad
was enough.
things about it.
I'm
like,
sure it's great if you're into those types of games. I'm just not into those types of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the news was that Cyberpunk had the highest Steam player count since its disastrous launch, which is not really
Yeah.
a surprise.
And what's a surprise though is that Starfield was so like everybody wanted to play Starfield. Cyberpunk already surpassed the numbers on Steam
Yep.
because I mean, it's a new spark of life for Cyberpunk. While Starfield, I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's not a great game either. A lot of people had insane expectations, so now everybody's already moving on from Starfield.
Yeah, now
They're
they're
already
just
going
waiting
to
for
the next
Postal
big thing.
5. They're waiting for Postal 5.
Also 5.
Yeah,
and,
we're not. We haven't
Postal
even
2 might
designed
too.
it. We haven't even thought about it. But Postal 5 when?
Sure. Right now.
2070, maybe in 2077.
Yeah, Postal 5.
First, it's gonna be the
2077.
Pulsar Royale. Sorry, if you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pedro, you have to finish Postal and the dating sim. before.
Well,
we
the
could even
dating
think
sim
about that.
is in the back burner, and Pusa Real's story is underway. I would say
I'd bet it's very deep and compelling.
terrible. It's gonna be
It's gonna-
it's gonna be shit.
Well, we
But
don't
it's gonna be good shit, at
We
least.
don't
It's gonna
do
be a
gripping.
nice love letter
We
for
don't
the
do
fans.
gripping storylines. So
It's gonna be pretty shit, but some of the shit is gonna be interesting.
ransomware group claims to have hacked all of Sony's systems.
Again,
2011 all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is just reality now, right?
back then, the security was outdated. So I would not be surprised if the security was still outdated.
Yeah, but didn't you see that Las Vegas just got ransomware hacked?
Really?
Like there were hotels where like all their slots and everything were just completely locked down with ransomware messages on
Oh
them.
shit! That's
This was a
fucked
couple
up.
weeks ago. Unless I got
Yeah,
fake
I
news.
kinda-
Maybe I got fake news. I don't know.
Maybe somebody should hack the big eye, the new ball thing,
And
that
put crouching
has
on
a-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and put a crouching on it.
Well, it had Mortal Kombat on it.
It did.
They're gonna
It was
play.
pretty
They're
cool.
gonna play porn on it. Yeah.
I would not be happy to sleep in a hotel there with that thing always
I
flashing. through the
saw it. It
window.
was you couldn't exactly see it out of my hotel room because the wind was blocking it, but you could see it. And I drove past it when I left the airport. It is very cool. I would
It is very cool.
love to see a good show in there, like Tool, or like a good rave. Like a good rave would be really awesome in there. Maybe one day. So anyway, if you're worried about your information getting leaked, it might have happened again.
Woohoo!
So
Because they are not going to pay.
be aware,
the ransom.
Sony's not paying. Maybe this is why that executive stepped down yesterday. I think he just retired.
Yeah.
But
Jim Ryan?
yeah.
No, it's in March 2024.
oh,
Not yet.
right. So he's.
But the
they
timing
need
is
to-
interesting.
First, he needs to pay the ransomware, which is him. He's actually the ransomware hacker. Then he'll
Yeah.
step down. Then he'll leave. I think we figured
The
it out.
timing is interesting.
I think we
though.
just figured it out, guys. And Pedro's probably jerking off about this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 finally leaving Epic Games.
Yeah, I immediately jerked off. It was the easiest FAP in the world.
Did you
Been
just
waiting for 3
insta-come?
years.
Like you didn't even have to touch yourself?
It was
Second.
like sploosh, just like that. Just one stroke. That's all it took.
Was it your biggest
But
nut
yeah,
ever?
I mean, it's immediately. But it's good to see that not all exclusives are exclusives forever. Same cannot be said for some.
well, Alan
uh,
Wake is probably not going to come to Steam. It was paid for by
Yeah.
Epic.
Well, piracy exists. Not implying anything, but
Well, I'm just going to play it on PlayStation.
yeah. But still, it's one of those situations where people are just give up on buying a game, or they buy on the platform that they don't want to buy on, and eventually they're like, oh shit, finally, after all these years they decided to finally release it.
Did
A
you
lot of people have
see?
been
Did you
waiting.
see Dave Szymanski like going back and forth with
Yeah.
with Tim Sweeney the other day on Twitter? That was pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he really thought Tim was going to chime in on his thread, but he did,
Absolutely.
and he really shut him down pretty good. So, good job, New Blood. Thanks for
Yeah.
taking it to the man. That's what we need. Epic Games exclusivity sucks. Steam exclusivity sucks too. So
It does.
yeah, everybody should have options everywhere, right? I mean, it just kind of sucks. Like, we sort of force people into using Steam with our installers and stuff, but we offer it on GOG and Zoom platform, everybody.
Yeah, because imagine if this shit was on consoles. Imagine if you had to buy a PS5 and then you had to pray that it would run on a specific launcher for a console.
Yeah.
That's how bad the PC game is right now, because you cannot have everything on just one launcher. And for some people, they're like, okay, but you just have to press. No, not really like that.
I know.
Some services are better than others. Some people have preferences. Some people might prefer Epic Games Store. just like people
I
prefer
actually
Steam.
want to drop a little drip drop of potential news. It's bad news for some, good news for very, very few. I think Postal 3 is going to be coming back to Steam soon.
Yep.
So, I mean, as much as we talk shit, it shouldn't be off Steam, but it should work. And if it comes back onto Steam, it's going to not have the DRM anymore. And it'll probably have the new updates from Zoom. So if you want it, which clearly people do, I still get emails every fucking day asking me for keys that wouldn't work anyway. It'll be back on Steam soon. So all 14 of you can now.
Because we care about game preservation.
Yeah, not
ladies
that
and
Steam is.
gentlemen.
Well, that's what Zoom is for. Zoom's for the preservation.
Zoom is for that. Yeah.
And I don't mean
But
Zoom as
still.
in Zoom, the software I'm using currently to host this podcast. I'm talking about Zoom platform, the game launcher, which is all about DRM-free games. If you don't know what that is, Google Zoom platform and maybe add Postal 3 to that, and you can see what that is. Zoom platform came out a while ago. It was out before Zoom. I mean, I'm sure Zoom meeting existed maybe, or it was a concept, but clearly having the name Zoom now doesn't work. You got run the fuck over. But yeah, you heard it here first, guys. I think Postal 3 is going to come back to Steam. So hopefully it'll be super cheap and it'll be on sale all the time so you guys can at least check it out. It's part of our history, as you can see by this beautiful piece of art that I get shit on in every TikTok when it's sitting there. That art was actually made by our current art director, Josh. So it's beautiful art. I don't give a shit that it says Postal 3 on it. It's just the way it is. I could, if I wanted to, go use a black Sharpie and get rid of the 3. But why? We can still talk shit about it. And for those people that are tired of us talking shit about it, fuck you. Okay?
Damn right. Yeah.
It's our brand. We'll talk shit about whatever the fuck we want. And if it's getting old to you, unfollow us. You don't need to listen to our bullshit. I got more to say about it. Postal 3 fucking sucks. But I do want it to be for sale. But I do want it to be for sale on Steam, and I want it to be cheap. So if you guys can get it for a fucking $1 when it's on sale, hopefully we can get it at least on sale with everything else. So when you're buying up stuff, maybe we can add it into the Postal collection or something. I don't know. Just give people an option because it's there. I can't make it free. The guy asked in the thing. It was a thought I had, but the people that did make it, they spent a lot of fucking money on it, and even when it's cheap, like $1, it does claw back money over time, and they do deserve to get their money back. Even though it's a raging piece of shit, they deserve to make money. And we made Postal 1 free, but that's not a good metric. We made Postal 1 free because we released Redux, and we want people to play both versions of it. So yeah, just like when people ask when is Postal 2 going to be free, and the answer is probably not anytime soon.
It was once, but that's it.
It was for a very short period of time. When we launched Postal 4 on GOG, they ran Postal 2 free for 24 hours.
Who the fuck doesn't own Postal 2 at this point?
A lot of people don't. We still sell tens of thousands of copies a month on Steam.
Buy it. It's very cheap on sale. It's what, $1?
It's $1 US when it's on sale.
US.
Which means that it's like literally pennies in war-torn countries, okay? Because all the prices are based on what they normally are, and a lot of countries have a much cheaper price. Not Poland right now. For some reason, Poland is getting sort of screwed with their pricing. I think their games are more expensive than the US right now.
I almost feel sorry for those who actually spent money on expensive Postal 3 keys after it got delisted.
I mean, that's part of things being delisted. Part of things going away is that getting a hold of it is unique. But that's
so hold on to your money for now.
Probably going to be over soon. Can't promise you anything, but it is definitely in process.
At the very least, we're working towards that.
Yeah. Microsoft finally lays UK regulators' cloud gaming fears to rest. New consultation suggests an end to the drawn-out Activision Blizzard acquisition saga. As in, it's going through?
It's going through, yeah.
Okay, I guess that's good. I don't
As
know.
far as I know, but yeah, I mean it took all this time, but the FTC doesn't have a case. I think it's FTC. There's no case against it. There's no way they can just block it any further. It has to go through simply because it's a normal transaction, just like any others. Apple buys shit all the time. Fucking Sony buys shit all the time. So
yeah, even
why not
Nintendo
Microsoft?
and a lot of companies. Yeah,
I thought Microsoft wanted to buy Nintendo. What's up?
yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, it might be really expensive. We'll see. They have the money, so.
Oh, sorry, I have to respond to this. Okay. Now that we've discussed Monopoly shit, how about we move on to something like fantastic fucking fan art? Does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds like
Oh,
a
yeah.
good idea.
Here
Let's
we
go.
go.
Fart. Fantastic fucking fan art. Brought to you by Mike J's Bidets. A clean ass is a happy ass.
This fantastic fucking fan art is brought to us by at Chad E. K-I-I, Chadekii on Twitter. It is a beautiful drawing of Vince getting really mad about the pigeon mission.
When
I
is
don't know.
Vince not mad at?
I don't think Vince would like this art particularly because it makes him look kind of old, and back then he wasn't particularly old, but it is very good art.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, there's also one of me that Pedro didn't use, so go fuck yourself, Pedro. Thank you for using that one
Hey.
and not the one of me, but we'll take that. We'll take it. Thank you, Chadeki, whatever the fuck that username is. And remember, if you want your fantastic fucking fan art to possibly be showcased on the podcast, make sure you post it on Twitter, because that's what it's called, and you're going to hashtag RWS Art. Also, you should probably tag the company at RWS Studios. Maybe one of these episodes, maybe our Christmas episode, we'll just do a bunch of these. We'll do like a long segment where we just showcase a bunch of different art. That sound like a good idea, Pedro?
Yeah, we
Sounds
should
like
do
a good
that.
idea, and I will
Start
use
cataloging them now.
Okay, I will use the Mike J art for the next one. That's a promise.
So you're saying Chadakai is going to win again?
Again.
Here's what I think we should do. Since he already won once, why don't we use that and have another one just so we have both?
Okay, we can do a duo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, since we're talking about art right now, Postaltober is coming, and we will be posting a bunch of art challenges every week, hosted by Squizzle UK, just like last year. It's going to be the second annual one. We will on the 1st of October we will send you a list of challenges, so keep an eye open.
Yeah, get your Postaltober art ready, and make sure we can see it. So Steam Deck 2 is at least 2 years away. I mean, I wasn't super surprised about that. I feel like they need to have that out for a while. I mean, it's been out now, but it's yeah, and it's still running plenty of games, right? Like it supposedly plays Phantom Liberty just fine at low settings, which, I mean, shit, like that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, it already got surpassed, but it's still very usable. It's still a really good piece of hardware, so there's no reason for them to rush immediately to a new version, and people will just be pissed off because they bought something and now there's some new thing that came shortly after. So might as well just wait until enough time has passed.
Yeah, I mean, it's those people that are on the in between right now, right? Like they haven't bought a Steam Deck yet. They might want to wait for the next hardware, but if you want something like that's ahead of it, there are other handhelds that are ahead of it. But, if you want that Steam Deck, hey, are we tiring you over there, buddy? We putting you to bed, Carl?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just sitting back listening.
Carl's over there. I think he might have came, and then he just, that was that post-nut
A
clarity.
DSP moment.
Post-nut clarity. He's very,
Damn.
very, very tired. His
I'm not
Steam
gonna bother-
dick.
Not gonna bother changing. I'm gonna sit with what I've
No,
done.
it's
Yep.
your voice that's very.
What you do
very
is you rub it on
seductive.
your tummy like this afterwards.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You're moisturizing. It gets all lodged in your chest hair. It's very nice. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Birds.
That's how I do it.
Exactly. Why do you think Matt looks like his 16-year-old boy? A little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit here.
Oh, he did you dirty there, man.
A little bit in his nose.
I'm way younger than 16.
So yeah, if you're looking for a new Steam Deck, you're gonna have to wait a while. So you might as well
Steam
get
Deck.
one now, or pick up a different system. What do you got, Carl?
I got the ROG Ally, and
Yeah.
I love it.
There you go.
It's great, and it has Windows, so like you can run basically everything, emulators and all that. You don't have to do all the extra steps. that
You could
have to do
even
with the Steam
run
Deck.
Postal 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
What? Damn. Why do you want AIDS for your ROG Ally?
Yeah, it is AIDS.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm
somebody
gonna go through it.
somebody
I'm gonna
actually
go through
asked
Postal
and
3.
said, "Were you guys kidding about that?" We are not kidding about that. So,
Hey, go fuck yourself, Soft Nick. I'm not Brazilian.
yeah, you are. You're
Fuck
fucking
off.
northern Brazil. You're Euro Brazil. That's what we like to call
Euro
you.
Brazil.
You're Euro Brazilian. Yes.
Or is it American Portuguese?
American. Well, Brazil's much bigger. You guys are like a little butthole. of
But we came
Spain.
first.
Maybe,
just
but you're
like
still a
in
butthole.
every-
You're still a
just
tiny
like in
little.
every
You are
sex scene.
Spain's butthole.
A Satrack butthole.
That's right. Counter-Strike 2. I personally am one of those people that, like, when you ask me, like, oh, what is your game? What games do you play? And while the current answer is not many, but when I do play them, they're Grand Theft Auto style games. That was not the case for the longest time in my life. I was almost exclusively a Counter-Strike player for a very, very, very long time, including like the very first beta of it when I lived in the dorms in 1999. Like, one of the reasons I failed out of college was because me and the other 19 guys on my dorm room floor used to just play LAN games of Counter-Strike back in the day. So Counter-Strike is definitely something that's near and dear to my heart. That said, I've barely played any CSGO. I hardly even played Counter-Strike Source back in the day. I really was just like a 1.6 player for the longest time. I wasn't any fucking good, but I did enjoy it. So Counter-Strike 2 coming out does mean something to me, even though I barely play it. But I've heard that it kind of fucks everything up.
It sure does.
And I think we're going to find out as a team after this podcast and play a little round together.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Check it out.
Very
We're gonna do a I Regret Nothing podcast CS2 round, so everybody can
we
see how
could for
bad.
sure do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
but
Yeah.
we played a little bit with Pedro before the podcast, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. It's looking
what we
good
should
as well,
do is make our own server and invite people that are on this podcast or people in the Discord. So it's just
Yeah,
postal
that's
They're
fans
gonna
in
be
there.
they're gonna come flooding in. I should make a running with scissors skin for one of the guns. Set it on the market.
Crotchy gun.
Crouchy gun.
Hell yeah.
I'll
Crouchy
model
gun.
it.
There you go.
I'll
There you
fucking
go.
make it.
Well, Matt's a modeler too, so you two can fight about that.
Matt's
we'll-
probably a better modeler than I am, but
But
I
you're
don't know.
also-
Your weapons are pretty fucking good, Carl.
but
I
you're better
appreciate-
at reloading, so
Yeah, I could beat Matt.
he
at that
he
for
makes
sure.
you
Yeah, he's gonna
reload.
beat me on reloading for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl's
Okay.
better
Now
at
jerk off
reloading
while you
guns.
guys
Matt's better at
fight.
reloading his nuts and jizzing on his own
Yeah.
face. He look younger and younger.
I just
Different reload
cock my-
skills. Very vastly different
I just-
reload skills.
I just cock my foreskin back and forth. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yum.
Oh God, this podcast smells like smegma.
Yep.
Yum.
Oh, the next topic we already talked about how Jim Ryan announced that he's retiring from Sony next year.
Did I do it twice?
No, I just brought it up while we were talking about.
Oh, okay. So I didn't fuck
the
up. Okay.
ransomware.
Someone,
It's good to know.
someone in the chat did want to know what our thoughts were on the whole Unity situation.
Oh well, here we
Uh,
go. They're fucking idiots. Okay.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck, they're
I'm glad
stupid.
we don't use them. I'm not super happy that brain damage uses it, even though it's probably not going to affect brain damage at all. but
it's
anymore.
not-
They've
yeah.
undone the retroactive thing.
Yeah, they've undone what they
wouldn't have
what they
mattered
said,
anyway.
but
It wouldn't have mattered
yeah.
anyway. Even the original plan, which is stupid, wouldn't have
Yeah.
affected brain damage at all. I have a good
But
friend.
the thing is that it still tainted their image from what they said.
yeah,
That's the thing.
They
You
Very-
cannot
eroded
go back
trust.
from this shit at all.
Yeah.
It was such a dumbass excuse. Like the European Union would not approve that shit. I'm pretty sure on the US it wouldn't be approved either. It's just unconstitutional, I think.
Well, the Constitution is what the Supreme Court says it is. So,
They would probably not
at the end of the day, right? Like the company just made some unilateral decisions without actually figuring out what that really meant, and their messaging was really, really bad. Because if you actually got down into the nitty gritty on it, which I did because I have a friend who's DevRel there, it really wasn't that bad. It just they didn't know what they were talking about, and their own support was contradicting their own statements, and their marketing was wrong. Like everything, it was just such a fucking disaster that I think they're done. I don't know how they survive this. And they already weren't profitable, and they're just trying to make some money, which is okay. They should make money. But boy, do they not know how to fucking do it. And the guy they brought in to help them with that is known to be a fucking idiot.
Yep.
And people are now running to Godot and Unreal.
Yeah, it's over. My friend who works there, he's in DevRel, and the day they announced that was his 1 year anniversary of working there. So he sort of posted like, well, it's been a great year working at Unity, and today was my 1 year anniversary, and it was definitely my hardest day of work of my life.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that was.
If I worked for Unity at that point, I would be like, I'll just pack my bags right now. This shit is going to burn.
Yeah, that's talk about way to make bad will with everybody real quick.
Yeah,
They pretty much destroyed
Terrible.
trust, irreparably destroyed it for a lot of people. So
Just the simple act of telling people we will tell you what you owe us is fucking nuts. Okay, completely.
The most fucked up
ludicrous
thing is, like,
and nuts.
if some guy wants to ruin the company for some reason, they just uninstall, install. It's very easy to bypass whatever system they would put in place, which we do not even know how that would work. But if you want to uninstall and install the game multiple times, pretty sure there's a way to bypass that system. It would just drain money and no sales. So
Yeah, it's
I don't know,
like
it
I
doesn't
said,
make
it's
sense to me.
it's all fucked up. Like they said things they were going to do which weren't really true. I don't know how the runtime shit actually worked, but like you can't tell developers what they owe you. You have to ask them what they sold.
Yeah.
That's it. Or how many installs
Somebody-
there were. That's
Some
it.
devs were very vocal online about this. They were not happy, especially like Gary Newman, the guy who did Gary's Mode and Rust. He was like, "Well, we're not using Unity anymore. Fuck this."
Right. I mean, like Epic, they we do owe the money every quarter, but we fill out a form and we post, our complete net sales and our quarter to date sales, and then it tells you how much you owe them. But that's based on what I tell them. They do have auditing rights, so if they think I'm lying to them, they can audit our sales to find out. But that's just how it works. Like everybody in the industry sends out a royalty report and you invoice them back. That's it. Why Unity thought they could be different and just use some sort of always on connected fucking spyware bullshit to tell people what they owe is fucking crazy.
They are different, but only in a bad way.
Yeah.
Very different.
So anyway, that wasn't in our topic list. I don't know why.
It is. Further down the list.
I just see something about Terraria.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's about Unity.
It's
I
okay. We
guess.
can still talk about.
I guess,
we can still talk about Ahsoka.
That's later.
I did not do a sloppy
That's
job on
later.
these topics.
You did sloppy. Very sloppy, Pedro. Trailer for the disastrous Mortal Kombat 1 Switch release contained a Steve Achievement pop-up. Well, that's obvious. I mean, come on. I get it. Like, they gotta show that the game looks better, but you know, people who actually thought that the Switch version was gonna look good are fucking kidding themselves. Did anybody here really think the Switch version was gonna look good?
I
Absolutely
didn't
not.
even look into the Switch version. I was like, I can't even. It's not even coming out in Japan anyway.
But if
so
you
I'm
were,
fuck
you
this.
just got to understand it's going to look like shit.
Oh yeah. The thing is, that's crazy. They could have done, those big AAA games. They do cloud versions. They could at least do the cloud version, not just physically on there. Like, there's some really good-looking games on Switch, but they wouldn't be able to run if it wasn't for the cloud version, like Dead by Daylight and some other games I don't remember. Well, I don't know why they didn't do this. Yeah.
Well,
but to be surprised that the Switch would be able to afford such graphics is crazy. Like they cannot at all. They didn't in MK11, so they certainly wouldn't with MK1. To think otherwise is just having too much faith on the console, which, despite being a goodish console, it just doesn't have it. It doesn't have the hardware
No.
to
well,
be
there's
able to
other
afford
there's
them.
other limitations too. Like, it's not just like what you can have running; it's how big your game can be. Like, Nintendo requires the size to be smaller. So, aside from the fact that the system won't run super graphic intensive shit, you can't even install that much assets on there. So there's a lot of limitations.
Yeah, it's bad. It's over half a decade old now.
Yeah. It's very stupid. All right, we're gonna go to another segment called
Cool.
Cool comment, bro.
Full comment, bro.
This week's Cool Comment, Bro, is brought to you by Doomquake 95. Postal devs have always been amazing with solid, consistent post-launch support. Pun probably intended. Postal 2 got consistent, glorious updates for decades. We just got an official update based on modders' work in April 2022. Not to mention the real Postal 3 we got in 2015, Paradise Lost. So far, so good. And when mod support inevitably comes along, the possibilities will be endless. I think they're talking about Postal 4.
Yep.
When I got Postal 4 in 2019, it was the fastest purchase I've made on Steam yet. I regret nothing. Thank you, Doomquake 95. There is no way for you to make sure we see these, so just leave good comments places, and maybe Pedro will see them. Maybe.
Yeah. I see everything.
I think he spends about 13 seconds looking for a comment, like a half an hour before the podcast, instead of like when he sees a cool one, notates it, so he has like a log of them, which would be better.
I'm
idea.
stupid because I see them and I'm like, oh, that will be a good one. But then I forget to note it somewhere.
You take a screenshot and you put it in a
on the
folder
exact day.
called Cool Comment, Bro. And then you don't have to look on the day because you have a folder full of images.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But it is a good comment, okay?
I'm hearing that I have made my videos are wrong. So if I do this, it's Pedro's. That's the one. If I'm not doing a window, your box on the podcast. When I open Discord, it covers your face.
Ah, okay.
Because the way that I'm pulling your video is different than the other three, I guess.
Yeah, I messaged you saying,
I did.
Careful there.
Fault. I got a new computer a few weeks ago, and I reset everything up, and I think I just clicked the wrong box when I was highlighting Pedro's video. So every once in a while, you'll get a little hint of something else I'm doing, like Facebook Messenger or Google Chat. So sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry that Pedro's face gets blocked every time. Maybe I'll open something funny so they just see that instead of your ugly ass fucking Euro Brazil's face.
Don't worry, I got one of those ski masks. I can wear those.
Yeah. R.I.P. to hard drives. Bye. Fuck hard drives. If you're fucking trying to play new games on a fucking hard disk drive, are you just stupid? SSDs
that
are
or-
fucking cheap, dude.
Telling you,
Cheap
you're,
as shit.
you're gonna make some people sad in the chat. A lot of people
I don't
are
give a
using
shit.
shitty PCs.
Y'all poor. Okay, you don't even need to buy a new machine. You can buy a massive solid state drive for like $50.
Yep.
Just do it right now. Don't be stupid.
Like,
Carl's over there. Carl's over
for-
there scratching his head like, I have a 4 terabyte spinning disk hard disk drive.
Solid state.
There you
You made Casper.
go.
You made,
Eat my
you made
nuts.
Casper. You made Casper sad in the chat.
I don't give a shit how sad Casper is. He's stupid.
Well, to be fair,
To be
To
fair.
be fair,
to be fair, I still use those for old games.
You're
if you have
stupid.
a shitload of old
Oh, you do
games
live
that
with
you
your
just
parents,
kind of-
so it's understandable.
yeah. But
In Euro
but if
Brazil.
I still use the SSD for new games, so that's what makes sense.
Yeah, everything is just a little better
Much
when
better.
you use a solid state hard drive. And not all solid state hard drives are created the same, but even the worst solid state drive will be light years ahead of a hard disk drive.
Sometimes people just ask us, why does Postal 4 take so long to load or so long to update? And I'm like, okay, what storage shop are you using? Oh, I'm using a hard drive. Well, no shit.
And it's like
No
a 50
fucking
it's like
shit.
a 5400 RPM hard drive on a fucking
Sometimes it's the slowest ass hard
yeah.
drives that
and it,
their
like
grandpas
even
have.
worse, it doesn't matter what speed it is. It could be like the newest fucking 7200 RPM one you could find. And if you've had it for a couple years, it's a piece of shit now.
the
There's too
funny
much
thing is
dust.
that on AAA games now, or even like newer games, in the requirement it says SSD, but some people will try to play the game with an HDD and they'll be like complaining, "Oh, it doesn't run on my PC." I don't understand.
Well,
Yeah.
the answer is your PC sucks, you fucking loser. So figure it out. A bunch of people are saying they love me in the chat. Love you too. Just wanted to
Ah,
say that back.
Yay. But
And
in
to
a good
Christian
way.
Hunter, you're fucking idiots. I don't think we need to talk I guess we can. Back to Unity, the Terraria developer. They really stuck it to Unity with a $200,000 donation to their open source competitors, which is pretty cool.
Applause.
Yeah.
Applause.
Yeah. Clappity clap, clap, clap. I wish we had $200,000 to donate.
Oh yeah, sure. We got enough. We are loaded.
Yeah. Somebody's asking about Uwe Boll in the Postal movie. I'm not going to answer how was he as a director. We've answered that ad nauseum. But he has been out there making new movies. So I'm not saying he's even remotely in the running or will make another Postal movie, but you never know because we're not making it. But yeah, there's people that we've been talking to on and off for years about like a Postal streaming series or a limited series or something. I think it
Cartoon would be sick.
What?
Like a cartoon, kind of like the style of Brain Damage would be
Well,
sick.
I have,
Oh, yeah.
we did pitch Postal 4 to Adult Swim, and they basically told us to fucking take off. So,
I like
We
Adult
tried.
Swim though. It kind of sucks. Yeah.
yeah.
At least we tried.
In that note, in that news, Rick and Morty coming back, new voices. If you are acting like you're
Yeah.
not going to watch it because you can tell the difference in the voices, you are stupid.
I like
I can
like the
barely
voices.
tell the difference.
They're
Is it
different. Okay.
is it two guys this time? Is it two guys this
Yeah,
time doing the
yeah,
voices?
it is,
Yeah.
and it's different, but it's not that
Yeah.
different, and it doesn't matter.
It's not that
okay. The
different.
guy's a
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit. All right.
Hell, if anything, people would think that he just had a cold.
And what's
That's it.
hilarious to me though is when I was reading the Reddit thread on the trailer, like half the people think Rick's voice sucks, and the other half people think Morty's voice sucks. But it's like it's split, right? Like some people think
Yeah.
the Rick one's good, and some people think the Morty one's good. And when I listened to it, I thought the Rick one sounded fine, and the Morty one actually sounded a little funky. Like it didn't bother me all that much; it just sounded a little
Yeah.
funky. And then I was just reading all these people that agreed, and then I went did a little lower, and there was the
Yeah.
exact opposite. So it was like, oh,
But
here we
if
go.
you think about it, it's kind of funny because in the story of Rick and Morty, there's like an infinite amount of Rick and Mortys. Why would they all have the same voices, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
yeah.
supposedly what they did with the other show, right? The
Oh yeah, yeah.
they just used completely different voices.
Sort of opposites.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
just
called
said
like
it was
that.
a different galaxy or different universe or something like that. So,
Yeah, they could have done the same thing here. Fuck it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they did. We don't know. We haven't watched the first episode yet.
No, they didn't, because in the trailer you see it's just the continuation of he wants to kill evil Rick, like the
Oh.
evil one.
I will
Yeah.
say Rick didn't burp in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, I think no, from season 1 to the newer seasons, he drinks less and less alcohol. Like he's
So
more
they're just gonna say he
stable.
quit alcohol.
No, I mean he got more stable over the seasons. Yeah, he got less childish. I think he's more. I don't know. He's different now.
Well,
Somebody asked
it's
if
coming
we are going to add some visual effects to Postal 4. Right now it looks really undercooked. Yes, we are, and we mentioned that at the beginning
we are
of the
cooking up the
podcast.
graphics. Carl is cooking. He's cooking.
Carl over there is cooking.
Been working on the VFX for Postal. Don't worry, the explosions are a lot fucking cooler now.
Yeah,
I promise.
I
I
haven't
think
stopped
you're working also on like some visual, like for like maybe reflections or like cube map or like interiors and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the interiors in the game, there's no reflection probes inside the buildings. So when you go in the buildings, the floors are reflecting what's outside the walls, which
right.
mucks the lighting up a bit. So we're gonna get some reflection probes in there.
Yeah, we
I
still
think we
have
had that issue.
Listen, we still have a lot of visual work to do on the game. We know that, and it really,
And as soon as,
unfortunately, needed to come later because we needed overhead for stuff. So
yeah, but as soon as I get the green lights, you guys will see before and afters. I promise you.
Yeah,
you'll see it. I'm gonna.
But
post it to my channel too.
the new trailer for the co-op will not have the new visual stuff that was recorded before. Yeah.
sorry guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit more.
iFixit says iPhone 14 is literally not repairable due to strict parts validation rule. Is that are we talking about the old iPhone or the new one?
15 is the new one.
Because the 15 is the new one, Pedro. So why are we posting news about last year's iPhone?
That's a good question.
You know what, Pedro? I'm going to publicly spank you on this episode. You spend 16 minutes putting this shit together, 20 minutes before the podcast. Fucking do some research, all right?
I've been ready for that. Okay, please spank me.
Got you,
I'll
dog.
take one too. I would love that, actually. Well. I'll fly my ass down to Arizona myself just to get a mic spank.
In that case...
It's very good.
In
Trust
that
me.
case. So I guess the iPhone 15 is literally not repairable due to strict parts validation rule. I guess.
Yeah.
Actually,
hold on. We'll guess.
Hold on what?
Hold on.
Oh, you're going to go click the link?
Well, the link does say 14, so it's not my fault.
Why would that be news right now? It's a year old.
It's 8 days old.
So why are they telling us this now? What is the point of iPhone 14 news a year after the phone came out?
To be fair, some people still use the iPhone 14. So
of course, some people still do.
So could probably
since we've been to be fairing here for a little bit. The new season of Shorzy is coming very soon.
And the new season of The Boys comes out today. And
it's the prequel, right? The Gen V.
No, it's not. No, it's not a prequel. It takes place at the same time as The Boys.
Oh, it takes place at the same time. But it's a spinoff. But it's not The Boys.
It's spinoff. Yeah.
And it's I did read a review. I did read a review.
Did you see the review?
Episodes. It said it was very good.
Right now, it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though that doesn't mean nothing. But it's from 50 people, 50 reviewers.
That's a lot of reviews.
When do we get Shorzy?
It's a split release this time. It's going to be on Crave, I think, for a month before it comes to Hulu. So it looks like we're going to have to pirate it.
I definitely
going on the high seas for this one because I'm going to need to watch Shorzy right away.
I mean, we have a lot of good stuff recently.
Matt
like
and
Ahsoka
Carl,
as well.
Matt and Carl, have you seen Letterkenny?
Not yet. No.
Okay, well, Shorzy is a spin-off show from Letterkenny, and it's fucking hilarious. So if you haven't watched Letterkenny, start it, and then eventually you can watch Shorzy. It's very good.
There's so many shows. So like
Ahsoka, I'm telling you what to watch, bitch.
So many
I'll
shows.
tell you all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Ahsoka
what
is
to
so
watch.
good.
The last season of Archer.
No, I'm not going to watch that. But Ahsoka is out, and I'm not just partial to it because I have an Ahsoka tattoo on my arm.
Oh, it is good. Yeah.
It is very good, yeah. Boy.
Season 1 and 2, a little bit undercooked, but after that, it gets real good.
And the kid they got, the Aladdin kid to play Ezra, ooh, he's perfect. He is
Yeah.
Ezra. He's so good.
No, even Thrawn and that what's the name of that golden stormtrooper, the gold mask.
You mean
stormtrooper?
Amos from The Expanse? It's
Yeah,
Wes.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
Wes Chatham actually. Yeah, he's very good. You know, the guy that plays Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen. That's who voiced him in the show. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, he
That
looks
doesn't
great.
mean that doesn't
He
mean he
looks-
was going to be perfect in it. He does look like Blue Elon, but
Yeah. No, I think
it's-
I think for me it looks good. Yeah.
yeah, it's a real shame that Ray Stevenson died because I think he's the best character on the show. He plays Balin Skull, and I'm
Yep.
assuming he doesn't die in the next episode. I'm assuming he has a bigger part to play in whatever's coming, and he's dead. So
Yeah, he was the best part of the show. for me.
yeah, and he died.
He's the
in
best
real
character
life.
in Ahsoka. Yeah.
He died before the show even came out, which sucks. So if you've been sort of lukewarm on Disney Star Wars shows and you were like holding back on Ahsoka, you should check it out. It's very good. It does require a little viewing of Rebels if you really want to understand what's going on, but otherwise, I'm sure it's still enjoyable. These are all good characters, and it's funny, and the lightsaber
you
fights
see,
are really
Mike?
good. What?
You see the chat? We made somebody's day.
What?
See?
Who?
So the person from this week's Fantastic Fan Art, it's this person's birthday, actually, today. So happy
Oh.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Chataki.
I didn't even know.
Why is
But,
your
there you
YouTube
go.
name not Chataki? If it was,
birthday.
it's fucking Oba Pudum. Happy birthday. Thanks for drawing those pictures of me and Vince. You can draw some of Pedro. You can draw him pulling his foreskin over his head like a little turtle.
That would be so good.
Like this.
Yeah.
Also, do you guys watch Sex Education? Have you watched that show?
Yes.
I
The new
watched a
season
little
is
bit.
the
Season
new
one.
season is ridiculous. It's so fucking ridiculous, but it is so good. And it's the last season. It's the final season. So if you haven't watched it,
Okay.
it's a British show about like a little high school where one of the
Yep.
little kids there runs his own little sex education class. It's so good. It's just like one of our favorite shows, and it's sad that it's over. But if you haven't watched it, now you can watch all 4 seasons of Sex Education, and please do. It'll make you happy. I promise you. And my last piece of news was that the movie The Creator comes out this weekend, which is
Oh, I wanna
directed
watch that.
by Gareth Edwards, who was the director for Rogue One, a Star
Yeah.
Wars
and
tale.
and Godzilla.
And Godzilla, yeah. And the movie's supposedly fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and it was made with a pretty low budget considering
Yeah.
what's in it. Yeah.
yeah, and
And they
That's
filmed it with
crucial.
a tiny Sony camera.
yeah, like a
just Sony
$4,000
Alpha.
camera that he got. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. We're gonna need to watch. I told my dad we're gonna see that movie. We've been seeing a lot of movies lately, and he asked me if I
And
wanted to
is
see
it-
the new Expendables, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Oh no way.
But I said Creator, and he goes, oh, that sounds good. So I think we're gonna go see Creator next week.
It looks like a mix between Rogue One and like a Neil Blomkamp, like District 9
yeah.
or Elysium. Yeah.
You know what I did watch last week? I watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
It was fucking stupid, but I laughed
Yeah.
pretty hard at most of the movie. The first half was pretty bad, but I liked the last half of the movie.
I watch all the Nick Cage movies, so yeah.
If you guys
Of
haven't
course you
watched it,
did.
it's the one where Nick Cage plays himself, and Pedro Pascal plays like this drug lord that hires him to come show up at his birthday party, and obviously it devolves into a run and gun action movie, but it's pretty good.
I was
Anyway,
watching
what?
I was saying Nick Cage
Yeah.
recently he's been doing 3 or 4 movies a year.
Yeah,
It's
he's a busy motherfucker. That's the whole movie was
Yeah.
making fun of that. That's actually what they were making fun of, is that he was not spending any time with his family. He was just working too much.
Yep. I'm not surprised.
All right, we were over an hour here, and we got through our topic list that Pedro put together 15 minutes ago. So if you guys want to give everybody here a round of applause, thanks for showing up. Carl, kid in the helmet. Pedro, the kid with the foreskin over his head. Matt, the kid with the jizz in the face. And your host, Mad Cow Mike J. Thanks for tuning in to the 71st episode of the I Regret Nothing podcast. We'll hopefully be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
two
So
weeks.
Maybe.
thanks for tuning in,
We'll try.
guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I fuck donuts.
Bye.